2 years ago, I made a decision. I was going to stop buying new guitars and instead focus on modifying the guitars in my collection. Now, 2 years later and 4 mod guitars later, I can say the results have been mixed. So, is modding guitars worth it? Let's talk about it. I'm Cole. I make videos about music and gear. If that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel and following me on Instagram at colg.music. The reason I decided to start modifying my existing guitar collection came about because of a barely functioning 1980s Fender Contemporary Telecaster. I bought this guitar in 2022 with honestly pretty grand ambitions. It was barely functional, it barely worked, so I planned on fixing it up, modifying it, restoring it, but instead for 2 years it sat in my closet collecting dust. I honestly put off fixing it because I knew it was going to be expensive and I just couldn't justify the money. But by early 2024, I felt I reached a crossroads with it. I had to decide if I was just going to sell it as is and not go ahead with any mods because it had almost been 2 years, or if I was going to suck it up, spend the money, and get the mods and get the guitar working. Honestly, both of these were kind of lose-lose situations for me, but I decided to go ahead with my original plan and mod the guitar. After months of researching and spending a lot of money, by July of 2024, I had a working guitar, and honestly, I was pretty happy with it. I was so happy that I maybe got a bit addicted to modding my other guitars. Soon, I modded my Balaguer Thicket, my Gibson SG, and my Fender Mustang. Whenever I got one of my mod guitars back from my tech, I would become obsessed with it. It would be the only guitar I would play at home, and I'd be genuinely pretty happy with it. But something happened with the Telecaster and the Balaguer. I started falling out of love with it a few months after getting the mods done, and eventually I sold both of those guitars. And this is unfortunately when I learned a very valuable lesson when it comes to modifying guitars. If you have an issue with a guitar that you can't fix with a mod, it's not worth modding the guitar at all, and it's better to just sell the guitar right away. With the Telecaster, I never liked the System 1 bridge, and with the Balaguer, it just always felt small to me. These were things that I really couldn't mod. Sure, I could have got a new bridge for the Fender, but honestly, that would have cost me so much money, and I wasn't willing to do that. So I decided to ignore these issues completely and just go ahead with the mods. And at first it was okay because I was in the honeymoon phase. I was excited by the mods, it was something new in my collection. But as the months went on, it just wasn't exciting anymore, and these issues came back and I started not enjoying the guitars again. Letting those guitars go wasn't easy, especially with the Telecaster. I had developed a special connection to that guitar because it was the first guitar I ever modded and the first guitar I ever really restored back from being not functional to being fully functional. But if I look on the bright side, the new owners of the Balaguer and the Telecaster absolutely love the guitars. Even though I don't own these guitars anymore, the lessons I learned from modding them directly informed how I approached modding my SG and my Mustang. Before I started modding the SG and the Mustang, I wrote down a big list of everything I wished I could change about those guitars. And I had a rule. If there was something I couldn't change with mods, I wouldn't go ahead with the mods. I made this rule as a result of the Balaguer and the Telecaster mods, and thankfully all the issues I had with the Mustang and the SG were able to be modded, and now I'm absolutely loving those guitars. They're the two guitars I've been playing the most for the last few months. I love how they sound and I love how they play, and I'm super happy that I modded them. And that's the beauty of a well thought out mod. If you love a guitar and there's a mod that you think will bring it to the next level, it's totally worth it to do it because honestly, you'll probably love the guitar even more. And the whole process of modding guitars, whether it's just the research aspect or actually doing the mod itself, teaches you so much about guitar as an instrument. Every single guitar I modded taught me something new about the guitar, and honestly now I feel like I have a better understanding of the guitar as a whole, which is really great. This will help me better inform purchasing guitars in the future and better inform how I can fix certain issues I have with other guitars. But let's be honest, modding guitars can be super expensive. Between the cost of labor, parts, all of that, it adds up super fast. To the point in some cases where you can probably buy a brand new guitar that you don't need to mod with the money that you would spend on modding your existing guitar. For full transparency, I spent around $3,000 Canadian modifying 4 of my guitars, and that cost would have been higher if Sweetwater didn't cover the cost of my Fishman pickups in my Gibson. $3,000 is an insane amount of money, and I do honestly wonder, would it have been just better for me to buy a Fano or a Suhr and just get one guitar instead of modifying 4? It's kind of a what if question, and honestly, the answer can go both ways. I could technically say if I didn't modify these guitars, maybe I would spend more money getting a Fano or a Suhr because I wouldn't know what I'm looking for as good as I do now. It can be easy for me to get bummed out thinking about how much I spent modding these guitars, but I try to look at the bright side. My SG and my Mustang play amazing. I love these guitars. I play them so much more than I did before, still, months after getting them modded, and I will never sell these guitars, and they're super special to me. So having these 2 guitars still makes the mods worth it to me. One other thing that is really important to think about is that you can save money with mods doing it yourself, though it is risky depending on how hard the mod is, but you will learn even more about the guitar. And this is what I plan on doing going forward, because honestly, I want to learn more about the guitar as an actual instrument, and I want to be able to fix stuff, and I want to be able to modify stuff myself. So as you've heard, there's definitely some pros and cons to modifying guitars. At the end of the day though, it's all up to you to decide if modding guitars is worth it. Personally, I'm done modifying guitars for a while. I'm happy with all my guitars, partially because I modded my SG and my Mustang, and I want to save money, and I don't want to mod anything else. So is modding guitars worth it? Here's my take. If you have a guitar that you already love and the financial means to do so, I think it is worth it to mod a guitar. Because truthfully, a well thought out mod can bring your guitar to the next level. That's what happened with my SG and my Mustang, and I love those guitars so much more now because of the mods that I did. And even though I sold the Telecaster and the Balaguer, I learned so much from those mods. And in fact, one of the reasons why I chose to sell the Balaguer is because I actually plan on getting a custom one made in the future. All the features I would get with the custom Balaguer would be directly informed from modding these 4 guitars, so it wasn't a wasted experience for me at all. Still though, it does pain me to hear how much I spent on mods, and especially how much I lost selling the guitars that I mod, but that was a choice I made to mod the guitars and sell it, so I have to live with it. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think modding guitars is worth it? Let me know in the comments down below and let's have a discussion. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel and following me on my Instagram page at kolji.music. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm Cole, and I'll see you in the next one.